the 16th century Japan, legends spoke of a warrior unlike any other, a man whose skin was as dark as night, towering above the samurai and stronger than most had ever seen. To the Japanese, he seemed almost mythical. To his enemies, he was a living shadow on the battlefield. His name was Yasuke, the African who rose from slavery and servitude to stand as a samurai, and whose story history almost erased. I am not a spirit or a demon, Yasuke might have thought. I am flesh, blood, and purpose. The Japan Yasuke entered was a land divided. It was the Sengoku period, the warring states era, when rival warlords clashed endlessly for power. At the center of this storm stood Oda Nobunaga, the ambitious warlord who sought to unify Japan under his rule. Ruthless, brilliant, and feared, he was a man destined to shape history. In 1579, Jesuit missionaries arrived at Nobunaga's court, seeking influence and protection. But this time, they did not come alone. With them was a man who shocked everyone who saw him. Yasuke. He was said to be over 6 feet tall, a giant compared to the average Japanese man of the time. His skin was so dark and unfamiliar that many believed it was painted with ink. Crowds rushed to see him, so many in fact, that the crush nearly caused riots in the streets. Nobunaga, curious, ordered Yasuke to wash himself, convinced he was covered in soot. When the truth was revealed, Nobunaga was not only fascinated, he was impressed. "A man such as this I have never seen," Nobunaga is reported to have said, as Yasuke knelt before him. Yasuke was no ordinary servant. His strength was unmatched, his loyalty undeniable, and his intelligence remarkable. Nobunaga quickly saw potential in this unusual outsider. Within a short time, Yasuke was granted a position within his household. But it did not end there. Against all tradition, Yasuke was given a katana, the symbol of a warrior, and the rare honor of becoming a samurai. In a rigid society where class and heritage defined one's place, an African foreigner had been elevated to one of the most prestigious ranks in Japan. He rode alongside Nobunaga. He fought in battles that decided the fate of provinces. And he stood as a living symbol of Nobunaga's belief that talent and loyalty mattered more than bloodlines. One can imagine Yasuke standing in the silence before battle, gripping his sword and thinking, "This land may not be mine, but my courage is." But Yasuke's rise could not outlast the chaos of war. In 1582, Oda Nobunaga was betrayed by one of his own generals, Akechi Mitsuhide. Surrounded at the temple of Honnoji, Nobunaga knew he could not escape. Rather than face humiliation, he performed seppuku, ritual suicide, ending his own life. Even in defeat, Yasuke fought with honor, refusing to abandon his lord. But without Nobunaga, his struggle was hopeless. He was captured soon after. What happened next is uncertain. Some accounts claim Mitsuhide spared him, saying he was not truly Japanese. Others say he was returned to the Jesuits. And some believe he simply vanished, swallowed by history. Yasuke's story faded into silence for centuries. His name appeared only in fragments of records and whispers of legend. But today, his legacy endures. Yasuke stands as a reminder that history is not as narrow as we were taught, that warriors can come from anywhere, that greatness cannot be bound by race or origin. In Japan, he is remembered in folklore, anime, and even children's tales. Around the world, he has become a symbol of cultural exchange, resilience, and the forgotten connections between continents. He was more than a curiosity. He was a samurai, a man who crossed oceans, defied expectations, and fought in a land that was never his own. If Yasuke could speak from the pages of history, perhaps he'd say, "Judge me not by where I began, but by what I became." This is the legacy of Yasuke, the forgotten samurai, a man erased from history's stage, but never from its truth. How many more legacies remain untold? Subscribe to the Unnamed Legacy, where history's whispers become stories once more. Your next discovery might be just a story away.